Good morning. Thank you for joining me today. Today, we'll be in Psalm chapter 5, verses 1 through 12. Listen to what I say, Lord. Carefully consider my complaint. Pay attention to my cry for help, my King and my God, for I am praying to you. Lord, in the morning you will hear me. In the morning I will present my case to you, and then wait expectantly for an answer. Certainly you are not a God who approves of evil. Evil people cannot dwell with you. Arrogant people cannot stand in your presence. You hate all who behave wickedly. You destroy liars. The Lord despises violent and deceitful people. But as for me, because of your great faithfulness, I will enter your house. I will bow down toward your holy temple as I worship you. Lord, lead me in your righteousness, because of those who wait to ambush me. Remove the obstacles in the way in which you are guiding me. For they do not speak the truth. Their stomachs are like the place of destruction, their throats like an open grave, their tongues like a steep slope leading into it. Condemn them, O God. May their own schemes be their downfall. Drive them away because of their many acts of insurrection, for they have rebelled against you. But may all who take shelter in you be happy. May they continually shout for joy. Shelter them so that those who are loyal to you may rejoice. Certainly you reward the godly, Lord. Like a shield, you protect them in your good favor. This psalm is titled, "To the Chief Musician with Flutes, a Psalm of David." The title of the psalm indicates that it was for the chief musician, whom some suppose to be the Lord God himself, and others suppose to be the leader of choirs or musicians in David's time. Um, hmm. For to you I will pray. David prayed to God. This may sound elementary, but it is an essential aspect of prayer. Often we come to prayer so full of our request or our feelings that we never consciously focus on God and sense his presence. David was a great man of prayer because his prayer time was focused on God. My voice you shall hear in the morning. David made it a point to pray in the morning. He did this because he wanted to honor God at the beginning of his day, and this set the tone for an entire day dedicated unto God. You are not a God who takes pleasure in wickedness. David meditated on the righteous character of God. Our actions matter before a God who hates all workers of iniquity. As David drew closer to God, he became more aware of God's holiness and man's sinfulness. This is a good way to measure how well you are praying, and whether, as you pray, you are drawing close to God or are merely mouthing words. If you are drawing close to God, you will become increasingly sensitive to sin, which is inevitable since the God you are approaching is a holy God. There's no faithfulness in their mouth. David focused on what the wicked say as evidence of their wickedness. David understood what Jesus said later in Matthew 12:34. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. Our righteousness or wickedness will sooner or later show up in our speech. They flatter with their tongue. Always be aware of people who flatter you, and especially when they tell you that they do not flatter you, and that they know you cannot endure flattery, for you are then being most fulsomely flattered. So be on your guard against that tongue, against the tongue of the flatterer. Flattery, for definition, is false praise. Let those rejoice. Let all those rejoice who put their trust in you. The righteous aren't made righteous by their words. The righteous are those who trust the Lord and love his name, but their righteousness is evident in their words. They rejoice, they shout for joy, and they are joyful in the Lord. You, O Lord, will bless the righteous. With favor you will surround him. This is the greatest blessing of all, the favor of God. Knowing that God looks on us with favor and pleasure is the greatest knowledge in the world. This is our standing in grace. Carrying on, Proverbs chapter 1, verses 24 through 29. Wisdom speaking. However, because I called out, but you refused to listen, because I stretched out my hand, but no one paid attention, because you neglected all my advice and did not comply with my rebuke, so I myself will laugh when disaster strikes you. I will mock when what you dread comes. When what you dread comes like a whirlwind, and disaster strikes you like a devastating storm. When distressing trouble comes on you. Then they will call to me, but I will not answer. They will diligently seek me, but they will not find me, because they hated moral knowledge and did not choose to fear the Lord. Yeah, there's a point at which it's too late to go back. Too long of having abused good favor, and then it's all swept away. So, seek the Lord while he may be found, type thing. Yeah, there's a period of time that the Lord will allow himself to be found, and a period of time for judgment. And if we don't seek the Lord during the time that we can find him, then we'll fall under judgment necessarily because of the sinful state we're in. This is the rebuke that wisdom offered. She promised that if she were rejected, she would laugh at your calamity. Rejected wisdom has nothing to offer the fool when destruction comes like a whirlwind. Yeah, beyond an I told you so. Wisdom does not laugh at disaster, but at the triumph of what is right over what is wrong when your disaster happens. They will call on me, but I will not answer. When wisdom is rejected, she has no alternative plan for the fool. In the time of crisis, the fool cannot expect to beg for and receive instant wisdom, and did not choose the fear of the Lord. Since this fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom and knowledge, to reject this respect of God is to reject wisdom. Therefore they shall eat the fruit of their own way. The consequences of rejecting wisdom cannot be avoided. The end result of this love of foolishness and scorn will be death and destruction. Their own way. The reason for the sinner's ruin is placed again at his own door. He is wayward since he turns away from wisdom's beckoning voice. He despises the only cure. Yeah. If we refuse the only cure available to us, what choice left is there but to suffer? Yeah. It reminds me of a later proverb. Men distort their way and blame God for it. Anyhow, thank you so much for joining me today. Hope you have a great day. Bye.